Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today we're going to look at 5 more mods that you can install for your Skyrim game on Xbox One, and some of these will actually be graphics mods that will really kind of change things up quite a bit. Some are small, and then the last one we're going to look at changes up a lot of the textures of a certain thing in Skyrim. With any mod video I make, links are always in the description down below, and I will link relevant videos throughout if you guys want to go and check out some of my older mod videos. Before we get into the mods, I do have a bonus. I'm just going to include it right here. This is the Skyrim main menu replacer that I have actually been using and is in my last load order video, and I'll have that linked above if you haven't checked that out already. Now, on to the new mods. There are a ton of hair packs for Skyrim, and even more so on the Xbox One now. This is part of the Chaos Hairdos collection, I guess you could say. And these are some of the hairs that are added, and there are a ton that have been added. One thing I did notice was that the colors can't really be changed all that much compared to Chaos Hairdos Light. I think you still have mostly the vanilla colors. So if that's something that bugs you, you might want to find a mod that adds that extra color in there. For the most part, I just like the hairstyles here, and I thought it'd be worth sharing. And I think it would really change up the start of your new Skyrim game if you're playing as a female. I haven't tested it on the male version, but I imagine there are some new hairstyles there as well. You're still going to run into some clipping issues on your armor, which is something you might want to consider, but this is not really something that can be fixed either. So don't go looking for another mod that's just going to miraculously fix this, because these are just textures and they're just adding new hairstyles. There isn't a mod on Xbox yet that adds physics for hair, but if you happen to find one, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Until then, you can check out this one. Now this is a mod that I really like, and this is not a lot of space. Basically what this does is it replaces the textures on the shields of the guards in the different holds, as well as the banners in each of the holds. I collected some examples in this montage coming up, so here you go.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
Now this is a mod you might want to look at, and it kind of adds a little bit more texture to the snow of the game, so it looks like it's actually fluffy, and it's something that's not super noticeable, but when you look at it side by side or look at it one after another, you start to kind of notice the little differences. You may have actually already seen this in other mod videos that I've made, because I've been using it for a little bit now, but it's something that's small enough to where it's not going to break the bank, but at the same time it does add quite a bit, at least in my opinion. Now when you're actually looking at the differences here, it doesn't look that different on video. When you're playing the game and actually walking in the snow, you kind of notice the difference. Here it kind of looks really flat, and it doesn't look bad, but when you have fluffy snow on, you see the differences. And here are some screenshots from the mod page that I think really do illustrate it quite well. Shoebark Textures is another port from PC, and it adds nice realistic looking textures to the game, and depending on if you're using Mythical Ages or the other weather mods that change lighting, this is going to look really nice. Not a big texture overhaul like we're about to look at, but this is actually something that you probably will notice because there's a lot of trees in Skyrim. So there you go. The Skyrim creature overhaul is actually something that's pretty big, and it's going to change a lot of different things and change some textures of animals, which, like this one, I mean, look at this guy. Pretty different, right? This is the original OG texture. So Skyrim graphic overhaul changes a ton of the different wildlife in Skyrim and adds different textures. Doesn't actually change like the physical attributes of them, I don't think. But I have seen a lot of different textures added because of this mod. And I think they look pretty good. There's a lot of different mods like this, and we're probably going to look at a few in the future because there's like the Skyrim graphic overhaul that changes quite a bit in that retrospect as well. But this one is just creatures in general. I'm currently using this with the Lord Order that I showed in the last video, so if you haven't checked that out, feel free to check that out if you haven't already. I haven't run into any issues with this particular mod yet, but something to keep in mind is if you have anything like diverse dragons or something that modifies creature textures already, because then you might have some load order issues. So I would pick this one over another one that you might be using, or maybe skip out on this one for the time being and then maybe use another one of your texture overhaul mods for creatures. But if you want to come back to this one, I would just use this one and this one alone rather than anything else, as far as creatures go. And that's going to do it for part 2 of the series where we look at mods that you can install for your next Skyrim game or your current one. And I will be back with another installment of this in the near future, as well as maybe getting into our next best graphics mods of Skyrim video. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely subscribe and like the video, leave a comment, let me know how I'm doing. If you guys want to see certain things, definitely put those in the comments, or if you're using some of these mods, I'd love to know about it, because I think it's one of the things that's cool about this channel is that I can showcase some of these mods, show some of the cool mod authors and just the amazing work that they do, and then turn somebody on to their mod, and then they're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing, or I never even thought to look for that. For now, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.